So the phrase is, it's simple. Hey, I'm Joshua Thompson, and you're watching In the Pocket with the Brothers.
Yo, I'm Joshua Thompson, Joshua Paul Thompson, and you're watching In the Pocket with the Kool brothers.
Yay!
Yeah, man.
That's what's up, man.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Cool, man.
Fantastic, baby. Fantastic.
Yeah, we're just fixing the light.
Cool, man.
So how have you been since yesterday? What have you been up to?
Been in the gym doing legs, man.
Keeping.
Got to get it in.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
I can see your what is that? A platinum record? Or?
Yeah, that's a platinum record with Joe. This is my studio. All these plaques and everything is just different artists. Alicia Keys over there.
Yeah.
Different movies. Nutty Professor.
Cool, man.
Rush Hour. All these different movies. Yeah.
That's where the magic happens, right?
Well, it's one of the places we've been fortunate to record all over the country in different studios, and the Hit Factory in New York and LA and the Record Plant, all these wonderful places. Some of them are not open anymore. Electric Ladyland.
Yeah, it's famous.
This is Jimmy. That's Jimmy's studio. Electric Ladyland. See Jimmy Hendrix? Yeah.
That's where D'Angelo recorded his album, right? His Voodoo album.
Yeah, he did that there. Yeah.
Anyway, man, I think we're ready. Should we start? I guess we could start off where this all began. What was your first connection to music? How did you get started in music?
I was lucky to meet a guitarist named J.B. Lawson, who gave me my first few lessons. And after that, I became self-taught and decided to pursue it as a lifetime. I knew it pretty much immediately that's what I wanted to do.
Is that more or less the time that you started writing and composing?
I heard the music of Sly Stone, man. I had an album named Stand, and that was it. Once I heard that, I knew this is it. I got to be like Sly. And this was the hippest shit I ever heard, part of my language. And it was just amazing, man. So I said, this is it for me. I got to do this.
Yeah, man. Sly, man. The Family Stone. So this was like the mid 70s?
Late 60s.
Your first hit, was it with Joe? All the things your man won't do for you, right?
I would say that was my first household hit. I had hits before with Aretha Franklin, Freddie Jackson, Surface, Gwen Guthrie, Rebbie Jackson. Had a top with Rebbie Jackson, Michael Jackson's older sister, top 10 R&B record called Plaything. That was my first chart hit. And they had another one with Gwen Guthrie called Outside in the Rain, and some with Surface and other groups. But the big one came with all the things that was like this household record, because we got #1 airplay for the cumulative Billboard chart for the year.
Wow, man, fantastic. So your first hit was with Rebbie Jackson, am I correct?
Yeah, my first top 10 in the Billboard chart, which is kind of how we measure things in those days.
Yeah, so what do you consider yourself first? Is it a writer or producer or?
Guitarist first, yeah, everything comes after. But then after that, I'm a songwriter and then a producer. Because I think you have to start with the foundation, which is the music. And then all the flowery stuff, the strings, orchestrations, and arrangements all come to that. If you don't have a good song, Quincy Jones talked about music of one famous play that he was producing. And he said it was like polishing something not pretty. And he said, you can put as many dope arrangements on it as you want, but you can never make the songs better.
His phrase was, you can't polish.
Yeah, basically, that's what he was saying. Yeah. You can't polish it. It just keeps getting worse no matter the deeper you go.
Yeah.
So I love the great songwriters. You're talking from Sly, Jammin' Lewis, Stevie Wonder, James Taylor. I was fortunate to see Kool and the Gang when I was a young lad, maybe 20 years old. I got to hang in the studio with Deodato and them while they were making Ladies Night and celebrating those other records. They would let me sit in the studio for a few minutes and just watch the fly on the wall. So it was an amazing experience, and it helped shape my knowledge and desire to produce and view of how it was done on a professional level. Deodato was an amazing producer. Some people call him the East Coast Quincy Jones, but I give big shout outs to Kool and Khalees, Bayan, and the rest of the guys, Charles Smith and Bobby Douglas, for getting me into those sessions so I could watch and be a fly on the wall as a young musician producer.
Yeah, I mean, it's like going to university, right? That was university. Could you talk about, how you met and what you guys did together and all the people you produced for Clive Davis? I know you worked with Luther Vandross.
Yeah, Luther is the best. We did a song called Tell Me Can Heaven Wait. It was really nice, man. He killed it. Just what an amazing artist.
Yeah, was it on one of his last albums, right? Because he didn't do.
It's next to last album. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
He had a single on there called "Can I Take You Out," and then he put out one more album, and then he had this stroke and passed away, unfortunately.
It's a shame, man.
It's terrible.
He passed away so young. He was such a huge talent.
Yeah, I got to meet him in the studio. Really cool cat, man. Very smart.
How is he? How is he in the studio? How does he work? You know what I mean?
He's meticulous. He's a craftsman. He was the best. I mean, he's Luther Vandross. It was like, wow. You know what I mean? You don't really have to tell him much, particularly on the lead vocal. You know what I mean? I could have got in there, tried to coach him and stuff, but I just let him do his thing. I was like, man, this is Luther. Let him go. It's like talking to Aretha Franklin. You don't tell her what to sing. You know?
No.
You know what I mean? Chaka Khan. I work with Chaka too, and you don't have to tell her. They just go. They're just so natural. It's just like, let them do their thing. You could coach them and probably even come up with something incredible, or maybe different incredible, but it's already incredible. So what's the difference? You know what I mean? It would just be different incredible.
The song you wrote with him, Can Heaven Wait, right? That's the name of the song. Can Heaven Wait.
Yeah, I wrote that with Soul Shock and Carlin and Quincy Patrick and Silky.
So how did the song get to him? Was it through Clive Davis or?
Yeah, my manager sent it over to Clive, and they loved it, man. They loved it.
And had you recorded it recently, or had you have it in your your vaults for a while, or?
No, we recorded just then. They swooped it right up, snap. Because we were hot at that time, so kind of like everything that we were doing, they were snapping up. And I had a production deal with J Records as well. Yeah. So I had to bring them, I forget, 12 or 14 songs that they would put out over a period of time. It was great. My manager, Alan Molina, hooked that up. He's a great manager. He has a company called New Heights, and they're still doing their thing. They signed Lady Gaga. They were instrumental in helping her get her deal. And,
wow, man.
A bunch of other people. Yeah, they've worked with so many top people over the years. Alan's a great guy.
You wrote a song that was really big for BabyFace, right? Reason for Breathing.
Yes.
You co-wrote that?
Yeah, I co-wrote that with Joe, Warren Wilson, Danny Mercado, and Quincy Patrick. But the central writers were me, Joe, and Quincy. We were the main writers who got the main part of the song written. Some guys added in some things.
Yeah, and then George Benson, when you produced this album, right, Irreplaceable, you asked him to record the same song, right? Because it features on his Irreplaceable album.
Yeah, he did a version of it as well. It was incredible. George is such a consummate artist, man. How many people have worked with Mary J. Blige all the way back to Charlie Parker? I mean, to Luciano Pavarotti, to Quincy Jones, to Miles Davis, to Joshua Paul Thompson. I mean, he's got quite a resume. It's just unmatchable, unmatched. You know. Had you met him before you produced the album, or did it just? I met him shortly before I did the album. We started talking, and he really loved all the things. So when I met him, a friend of mine, Gary Moore, introduced me to him. A great jazz guitar player from Pittsburgh, which is where George is from. So we went over to George's house in Englewood. We had this lovely estate over there, and we come in, and he's up in the pool area, and he comes down to meet me, and he says, "Hey man, is that you on guitar in that song, baby? That's some mean stuff, baby." And then he starts to sing the whole solo. He sang me my whole solo from all the things, all 8 bars. And I was like floored that my mentor, my idol, even knew my music, much less could sing me the whole thing. It was just pretty amazing.
Yeah, man. And so what about the process of production of the album? How long did you guys record the album for? How long? What was the...
Probably was 6 months. We took our time because George is so relaxed and chill. You know, he wanted to go out and eat, talk, and jam and play, and it was just an amazing experience, man.
Yeah.
And I learned so much from him. He had his Johnny Smith guitar over there for a while. That's the one he did Breezing with, that he played on Breezing. Amazing guitar. So yeah, George is just, he'll try different things, and he has his own viewpoints that he'll express, but he's very open to trying your way to see if it works, and then if not, he'll try some different things until he gets what he wants to hear.
How do you get started? Do you start with the drum beat, or do you start with the melody first? I usually start with the guitar or the keyboard. Usually the guitar or the keyboard. Like we wrote our Reason for Breathing at the keyboard. I sat down and wrote that hook. I don't want to die tonight. That whole thing. I think I could be going down. That just came to me, and then Joe and Quincy started adding in. But Quincy had the punchline, which was Reason for Breathing. That was his lyric. He added that in, and that really made the whole thing to come together. But I had the initial part, that I don't want to die tonight. And
And Joe changed the melody and to that reason for breathing. Joe put that melody in. So it all came together. We're a team, so that's how we work. Like everybody puts in their little ideas until it comes together significantly. On All the Things, me and Joe wrote that in his basement. That was the 5th song we ever wrote, and it was a career changer. That was the one that changed everything because we had so much airplay on the record that it was just phenomenal. So that was I call it the collision of two talents that were waiting for a matching talent that would create a chemistry, like a chemical collision. And I think that's what me and Joe created, because he was so stocked with talent and I had quite a bit of ideas as well. And when we met, it was just like, you know.
Yeah,
that's
man.
how I look at it.
It's been how many years? How many years have you been working together now?
Oh man, since '95.
So he was a kid. He was a kid, right?
I was about 35, so he must have been about 22, 23 or something. I don't know exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
But he could sing, man, and everybody knew it.
And he dances. I've seen some music videos.
Yeah, he got a couple of moves. He can move a little bit. He did one with Pico where they did a little routine thing together. But this new record, I think we should talk about that. It's the best he's ever done. It's the writing is on a level that I haven't heard as far as consistency of songs on a song-to-song basis. Do we have in All the Things Your Man Won't Do? Maybe not. That was a pretty unique, rare record, but we got some really beautiful records, man, that are consistently good. So from a song-to-song basis, I think it's his best work ever. And we're using a 40-piece string orchestra.
Wow.
It's the Budapest Art Orchestra, the first time we worked with a major league orchestra on 12 songs. It's 16 songs. This is a double album, essentially.
Okay.
And it's his best work yet. By far, his signature work. This is what I think. You know, the writers always think it's the greatest thing ever. Oh, it's the greatest ever, you know. So we have to see what people think, like yourself and other people in the public, because they're the ones who really decide how good it really is. We think it's good, but this is what we feel in our hearts. And usually we've been right most of the time, you know, because there's some songs on some of the albums we did in the past that I would not have put on the records. The record company's made the final decision, but now Joe is A&R, so he's being more picky about every little song has to mean something. There's no fillers, what we call fillers, you know.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, then certain stuff, I guess, does get dated over time. I mean, that's just a natural thing. If the song isn't strong enough, I guess.
If it's a trendy song that was based on the elements of the time as opposed to classic elements, classic songs never get dated because they're based on strong elements of writing, lyric, romance, passion, you know, great melody, cool harmony, cool chord changes, and good rhythm. Trendy songs are based on a trend that's happening at the moment. So it might be hot for that time. And if it's a really great record, it can survive past the trend. But trend songs tend to be more something, oh yeah, I remember when that was out, you know what I mean? That type of thing, which is nothing wrong with that. It's okay to have a few trend songs, but overall, we're striving for classic records. If you look at Stevie Wonder, you know, Ribbon in the Sky, and some of these other records, Nat King Cole, great melody, great rhythm, and cool chord, you know. Yeah, great lyrics, you know, a story that moves people. People want to know about stories. They want to know what happened, who did what to who, and why did they do it, and what happened after that. They want to know. It's a story. Humans have a natural inquisitive nature of curiosity. So as songwriters, we can use that to entrance and enthrall the audience if we do it correctly.
Yeah. Nat King Cole, man, awesome. He'll be around for a long time. Hopefully Joe will be as well, man.
Joe is a big Nat King Cole fan too. Yep.
Yeah, I think, I mean, most of these people, you know, most of the artists, there's this common thread, right? They enjoy good music. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Good melodies, when it, you know, reaches the soul, man, that's what it's about. So
yeah, George Benson has an album called Inspiration, the music of Nat King Cole, where he redoes some of the Nat King Cole records using some of the original arrangements, but updated as well. It's a beautiful record, man. It's called The Music of Nat King Cole, Inspiration. George Benson, check it out. It's phenomenal.
You have the studio.
Mm-hmm.
When did you build it?
Oh man, I had it probably since like 98, somewhere 1998, 99, right around when I started hitting. And I built a small studio in my home. And then I had a commercial studio for like 5 years up in Montclair, New Jersey, called Tallest Tree Studios. And then after that, I went back to the crib and updated my home studio to even a better studio, which is Tallest Tree Studios as well. So now I have it back in the house. I love it because it's so I can roll out of bed, roll down the stairs, and I'm in the studio. You know?
Yeah, that's every musician's dream, right?
Of course, of course.
Yeah. So the George Benson album was done at this previous studio you had?
We did a little bit of it at my house, and we did some up at the big studio, the Tallest Tree Studios, the commercial space. We finished it there. We started at my house and finished it in the big one. And George performed at the opening, which was incredible. I wish I had some video of it, man.
Oh.
He did Breezed In and some other songs and opened the studio with a bang. It was a great experience.
So Alicia Keys, right? I think everybody knows the song Girlfriend, and you co-wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
How did that all happen?
I knew Alicia through Jeff, her manager at the time, and he used to call me all the time, say, you know, I'm trying to get Alicia a deal. Can you help me? I'm like, yeah, bring her on. We'll do some demos. Let's hook it up. So finally, and she would call me on the phone all the time. And then she used to hang in the studio with me and Joe. But she was like Joe's younger friend's girlfriend's friend, which had nothing to do with the song. But anyway, so she was Monique's friend. And so they would be in the back of the studio, you know, hanging out. But she's like only 16, so we're not paying attention to her. So one day I heard her playing the piano. I said, hey, that girl can sing. She's pretty good. So eventually Jeff, her manager, started calling me, and then Alicia started calling. And I said, well, listen, you know, whatever help you need, I'm there for you. So she started, she got hooked up with Jermaine Dupri, and he had a brief deal at Columbia, but that fell through. So she was able to call me and said she was crying. She was a little upset because her deal with So Def fell through. I said, well, listen, you're going to get another deal. Don't worry. And then she got a deal with Clive at Arista. But then Clive got ousted from Arista. I said, and she called me up crying again. I said, well, listen, don't worry. You're going to be cool. So Clive took her from Arista to Jay, and she got signed over to Jay. So Clive called me up one day, or maybe Peter Edge, I think, who was the one that brought her to Clive and signed her. He's a great A&R guy. He kind of took Clive's spot over at BMG Sony. He's the head guy now. And Peter Edge said, listen, I got this girl, Alicia Keys. I want you to work with her. I said, Alicia Keys? I know Alicia Keys. We've been vibing for months now. So he sent her over, and we wrote Girlfriend. She had the idea. She already had the hook, but I kind of made the hook a little better and added some tweaked it a little bit, and it came out amazing. We wrote it on my piano right down in the base. In my basement, I had a little upright Yamaha acoustic piano, and then Jermaine Dupri got involved and did the track. Unfortunately, he added a sample, which cost us a few $1 million, but it was still a great record, and I'm happy that she launched her career with it. Wow. And I'm proud to be been associated with her. And she's a great artist and very easy to work with, super cool, and maybe we'll do it again one day. Who knows?
That song is really good, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Hey, thanks to Alicia for including me, because she didn't really need me to finish it. She had the idea on her own, and I just tweaked it a little bit and made it a little bit better. And it helped. It definitely helped the song. Took it to another level. But thanks to her for including me. So, you know, let's do it again.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll be waiting.
Yeah.
So when is this new Joe album coming out? Do you have a release date, or?
We're aiming for Mother's Day if everything goes well with the mixes. We're having some difficulty getting all the mix engineers lined up because it's a double album, 16 songs. So there's a lot of stuff to mix. And Joe's very particular about every element of the mix has to be precise. Kind of like Bruno Mars in that regard. He really wants to be very specific. So it's a lot of back and forth between him and the engineers, but it's well worth the wait because the record is so great. And this symphony orchestra just sounds amazing. Joe sounds the best he's ever sounded vocally. And I think these songs are just wonderful. So I think people have a treat coming.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to have people like Joe keeping the soul and R&B, you know, music alive, because I mean, it's slowly dying.
He got soul. Yeah, Joe got soul, baby, man. He got that in abundance. If anything else, he got more soul than most. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He plays guitar great too. He's an excellent guitarist. Joe plays drums. He plays keys a bit. He's quite an overall all-around musician. And his ears are like supersonic. He can hear like a pin drop from a mile away. You know, I mean, he's just got, like they say, you can hear a mouse piss on cotton.
Never heard that one. Okay.
Yeah. Joe's he's something else, man.
So what about
Joe? Shout out.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Joe. So what do you think about the music business and where it's going?
Very interesting with all the streaming and everything. I don't think the streaming companies are paying the artists enough, number one. So I think artists have to start really making their own websites and just selling the music directly to the public. Screw it. But I think they've come a long way and given a little bit more back, but it's nowhere near what the songs are worth and what we used to make as writers. So I think there's some adjustments have to be made between the musicians union, the writers organizations like ASCAP, BMI, CSAC. I think they have to continue to press the government for stricter laws paying the artists correctly, because these artists' families depend on this money and their children depend on this money so they can make a living. Without that, you won't have any music. And imagine a world without music.
Yeah, can't imagine it.
Yeah, it's not
at least good music. Good music. We can't imagine life without good music.
Well, there's some good stuff out. You know, I mean, everything that's happening today, I'm not a fan of, but there's some stuff out. There's some good writers out there, and there's more coming. There's a young kid I work with named Troy Hayes. He's an excellent writer, man. He's out of Ohio. This kid is going to be something. He's got a few things that Chris Brown is considering cutting, and I think he's going to make some waves over his career. He's an excellent singer too. So we'll see. In the meantime, you know, hopefully artists like Joe and Tank and a few others will keep, and Tyrese will take it back to some real R&B. And of course, you still got Stevie Wonder out there, so you know he's the master of all in that regard. But and you got a few young ones coming up who really want to do some real R&B. I met this kid Mikey on the internet. He's on Instagram, and he's incredible. He's a young singer, has a young sounding voice, little thin, not a fat sounding like Joe, but nice sound, very good control. And so you know, some people really want to do real R&B. He said he wants to take it back to real R&B. He said his two favorite singers are Luis Miguel and Joe. So I said, well, you got two great artists to build your foundation on, you know. So the ones that are looking back and studying their history are going to be able to go further forward because they have more of a foundation on which to bounce off of. If you don't have no foundation, you can't spring forward. You know what I mean?
You also work with Tyrese, right?
What's up, Tyrese?
What did you work on with him?
We did one of his albums for J Records. We did a song called All Ghetto Girl that Clive loved. And we flew down to Miami. He was filming Furious 2, Fast 2, the Fast and Furious franchise films. And in the evenings, we would cut the song. So it was great. I think Timberland was there then, and I think Janet was down there with Jermaine Dupri. It was a bunch of people on the set at that recording studio. I think it was either the Hit Factory or one of those in Miami that was still down there at the time. And it was a great experience, man. Tyrese has an excellent voice and fun guy to work with too.
Yeah, that was his first album, right? Or not?
First for J Records, I think. Yeah, I think he had done one before that.
Wow, man, you work with so many people. It's like astonishing.
Yeah, man. Babyface, Luther, Aretha, Chaka Khan, Lisa Fisher, Angie Stone, Howard Hewitt. I'd love to finish.
Okay.
Me and Howard Hewitt wrote an incredible record. You remember him from Shalimar?
Yeah.
Great singer, man. Yeah. So many. Kevon Edwards, you know, Babyface's younger brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he his younger brother or his older brother? No, that's a good question. he might be older than Babyface, but he can sing, man. Kevon is amazing. I think they lost their other brother, unfortunately. My condolences to the family. But what an incredible, talented family.
Plus, you work with Olivia, right? From G Unit.
Yeah.
Who became was she already part of G Unit? Or was that?
No. She left Clive to go over to G Unit. She just wanted to try something a bit more street, and so that was the direction it took her.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we didn't get to work together after that, but she's an amazing talent too. So that was a good experience. We had a hit with Bizzounce, was a gold single, and did really well.
So it was like a sort of a launching pad for her, right?
Yep. It got her internationally known. So that was great, man. Yep, so many artists over the years, man. It's just great, and I'm looking forward to working with so many new ones. You know,
yeah. Even
in the jazz scene, I'm trying to expand that as well. So we'll see. I've been working with a new artist on Joe's record named Joe Locke. He's been credited as one of the world's greatest vibraphonists many times over in Downbeat magazine. I think it's the last 5 times #1 best jazz vibraphonist or something like that. I don't know the exact deal.
Okay.
But he's certainly one of the top, and he's an amazing guy. Very easy to work with, cool. Alex Foster from Saturday Night Live is one of our team. Richard Bolger, another trumpet player who's phenomenal. Alex plays the sax. He's been with Saturday Night Live for 31 years. Yeah. Richard's a trumpet player. And so these are some of the guys on the Tallest Tree team that we like to work with. I started recently working with Carlos Del Puerto, who has been 8 years with Chick Corea in the My Spanish Heart, the Antidote band. And also Luisito Quintero is on the album for Joe. He's an amazing percussionist from Venezuela. What's up, Luis?
Yeah.
Bye. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So we're spreading out, working with new musicians, just expanding the brand, expanding the experience, learning more. I'm hoping to meet Chick Corea. He's probably my favorite musician on earth, other than Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
It's a close tie between them two. And I want to meet Chick. I'd like to give him my music book. I've been writing some jazz compositions, and I'd like to gift it to him just as a show of respect, and to make him aware of my music as a writer, as a composer, because I have so much respect for Chick, not only as a pianist but as a composer. And I also lost my son Avery to leukemia when he was 17. So I did this wonderful piece, which is a flamenco-inspired jazz piece called Song for Avery, The Stronghold. So when Avery passed, the kids in his school came to his memorial, and they wrote on this big picture of him, "Avery, you were the stronghold of our generation." So it hit me, and I remembered that title, and I wanted to do a piece that would commemorate that feeling, that moment, and that image. And I did it. And Joe Thomas, the R&B singer we've been talking about, was kind enough to pay for the orchestra, the Budapest Art Orchestra, 40-piece string ensemble, to play on the song for Avery. So it was a gift to the family legacy for Avery. And it was a beautiful thing for him to do. And the song's just coming out fantastic. It's really beautiful. I'm playing a Spanish style of guitar on it. I'm not a flamenco player, so let me make that disclaimer first of all, but it is flamenco inspired. I listen to artists like Paco de Lucia, who I knew, and other people, and I just love the music. I'll never be able to do what they do, but I do my own little spin-off and reaction to other music, because I love to have an international flavor in my music.
It's a tribute song to your son, right?
Yeah, for Avery, Avery Thompson.
Wow.
He was an impressionist, songwriter, singer, rapper, athlete, scholar, taught himself German at 14. He was on the Obama math team. He was just an amazing individual. We're doing a whole movie about his life. I'm working on a script about it. He has about 4 albums coming out. Before he died, he made about 4 albums, like in 6 months, man. And he was sick. During the period that he had leukemia, he did all this. He had 86,000 fans on Vine and 7 million views of his comedy and impressions. So,
a huge talent, man.
Oh man, he's 20 times more talented than me. And so is my daughter Jaden, who is also a phenomenal person and unbelievable artist as well. She's a singer, and she's in Harvard right now.
Wow.
Although everything's online right now, so they can't go to school, but she's amazing, man. And we miss her brother so much, and I know she does. But the two of them together would have been an unbelievable combination. So unfortunately, we won't see it in this life. But she'll carry his memory, and she'll do some amazing things with her talent.
Must be very proud of your kids, man. It's amazing.
Of course.
Joshua, what do you think? You want to go on another 10 minutes, or are we good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good to go. If you got some more questions, I'm ready to rock, man. What you got? You want to talk about Nile Rodgers? You want to talk about Kool and the Gang? You want to talk about what you want to talk about?
Yeah, let's talk about Nile Rodgers.
Nile Rodgers is an amazing guy. He obviously started the group Chic with Bernard Edwards, and they changed the sound of music on the planet, basically. They brought funk back, because disco was in, but there wasn't much live music involved with disco. It was kind of bland, and they made disco funky again. And then they took it beyond that and added pop songs. He started doing Madonna, David Bowie, on and on. We Are Family and all the other things. He just had such a phenomenal career. I mean, this guy's songs were like, I've had hits, but this guy's had mega hits. They were like songs that are known just, man, I'm Coming Out, Diana Ross. I mean, this guy is some phenomenal. And a really down-to-earth, gentle, cool person, man. just so talented. He plays jazz guitar, he collects guitars. He's just somebody, I'd love to do a record with him one day. Where you at now, man? Let's make a record, man. And I know that he's a fan of George Benson, because obviously George is the world's greatest jazz guitarist. Everybody knows that. But maybe we could do something with the three of us, man. That would be really hot, because Nile plays some wonderful jazz guitar, and a lot of people don't know about it, but I do. So anyway, a career like his, and then he had the new run with Daft Punk, you know, when they did the thing with Pharrell and the whole thing, you know, Lucky. So I'm just happy. He had some health challenges that he was dealing with, and I think he's overcoming that. And so I'm looking for many more years of health and creativity from him, and hoping that we can work together someday. I actually have an idea about, Joe wants to do a funk record that would have Kool and the Gang, Nile Rodgers, and perhaps Stevie Wonder. It's a sort of a dream we're dreaming of. We don't know if we can make this happen, but we're putting the energy out there into the universe, and you never know. Sometimes it'll come back.
I'm sure you guys can pull it off.
Yeah.
There's someone, it's you guys. It's funny. So I had read about it that Nile Rodgers had some sort of a jazz background, but you have a jazz background, and you started out playing in bars, right? In a sort of an organ trio.
Charles Earland, the jazz organist. I got to work with him. He snatched me up out of college. I quit college early. My daughter laughs at me. She says, "Dad, you never graduated." So she thinks I'm a music bum, which to some degree she's right. So stay in school, Jaden. In the meantime, yeah, Charlie helped me cut my teeth in the hardcore clubs like Club Mozambique in Detroit. We did 10 nights there, 6 sets a night, man, for like probably $50 a night or something like that. I remember it was tough. And that's when I decided I'm gonna be a pop songwriter, man. I can't do this jazz thing as a living. I do jazz because I love it. But I continue to shed and practice and write jazz compositions and become better over time. Unfortunately, Charlie passed away, but man, his sound was indelible. His groove was unmatchable. They call him the Mighty Burner because his groove was so strong and deep. And I learned so much. I don't know if I could have learned that in college, you know what I mean? I had a great faculty of professors in college. As a matter of fact, I had one of the first all-black faculties of jazz teachers at Rutgers Livingston University that I ever heard about. There may have been others, but it's the only one I know about. We had Larry Ridley was the head of the department, Kenny Barron, the great jazz piano prodigy. We had Frank Foster from the Count Basie band. Count Basie's last
wow.
We had James Spalding, Paul Jeffries, Freddie Waits on drums. We had Roland Prince on guitar, Ted Dunbar, the guitar master. We had a bunch of really powerful and influential teachers, and they influenced the way we thought and the way we expanded and the way we learned and the way we moved. So it was probably one of the greatest experiences of my life. I was very fortunate. I was going to go to Berklee College of Music, but I went to the campus and they didn't really have like any kind of campus. We were all in the city, right downtown Boston. So I didn't like the vibe of the layout. So I ended up going to Livingston, and it was a blessing in disguise.
Wow, good. Interesting, because our first interview was with Mark Whitfield, right? Fantastic guitarist. Yes. And he went to Berklee.
What's up, Mark?
Yeah, man. Hi, Mark. And he has a sort of a trajectory similar to yours, which is he went to university or college, and then he ended up playing with the Jack McDuff, right? That's just part of the job, you know what I mean? Get it going in the trenches and really playing with all the people who can teach you as much as they know. I mean, that's really one of the best things that can happen to anyone, really, to just further your craftsmanship, right?
Yeah, Mark is a bad dude. I'm hoping we could do a duo record or something like that at one point, or at least some kind of collab. Mark, where you at, man? Let's make it happen, baby.
That would be awesome.
He's got a lot of tricks. I wanna steal a couple of them tricks off you, man. I seen some of that stuff you're doing. Some mean stuff, baby. Like George say, man, that's some mean stuff, baby.
Yeah. So what about Stanley Jordan, right? We're talking about jazz guitarists.
Genius cat, man. He used to live with me for 9 months.
Oh, yeah?
Just a genius. Yeah, he got his degree from Princeton University in computer programming and logic and computer languages. I think AP was his particular language of choice. But he's going on to do so many innovative things on the guitar, it's hard to describe. What was cool though was when he was living with me for a short period, he wanted to meet some more cool musicians. So I said, well, listen, I know John McLaughlin, the great fusion jazz guitarist. So why don't you come with me? He's going to be at the theater in Elizabeth, right? So we took the bus down there. We took the 24 bus. Stanley had his guitar, and he had a little stand that held his amp. So he would roll this little thing and had the guitar and the amp on it. And so we went to the backstage door, and there's a brother at the door, he's a security guard. I said, I just took a winger. I said, listen, let me shoot this. So I said, just tell John McLaughlin, Joshua Thompson's here. So he went upstairs and he says, come on up. So I didn't know if he was going to say come in or not, right? Because I knew John, but I didn't know, you know, if he was busy or what. They were warming up actually for the show. It was John McLaughlin, Paco de Lucia, Al Di Meola, and Steve Morse from the Dixie Dregs, the great fusion band. So we go upstairs to the dressing room. There's this little crickety stairs that you go up. It almost looked like a fire escape. And we went up the stairs, and John was in there warming up. And I said, John, listen, man, you got to hear this cat. He plays guitar like a piano, bro. He taps on the string like it's a piano, but he's playing it, but it's a guitar. So he said, okay. So Stanley breaks out his guitar and he starts playing, you know, but he's a little out of tune. So John says, calm down, man, because he's a little nervous because he's playing for John McLaughlin, you know. So he says, tune your guitar. So he tunes his guitar. So he starts playing. So John McLaughlin jaw drops. He's like, what? So he goes down and runs down. He gets Paco de Lucia, Steve Morse, but Al Di Meola won't come because he's warming up because he wants to do battle with Paco de Lucia, which is insane to even think about trying that. But anyway, John comes up, Paco's there, they're all watching him. I think he's playing either My Favorite Things, or no, he's playing Eleanor Rigby, because that was like his showcase tune.
Yeah.
And he's killing it, man. He's like playing on his counterpoint and different solos and running the bass line this way and the solos going that way. And everybody, and Paco's like this. And I look at McLaughlin, he's like this. And everybody's mouth is just dropped open, right? So after Stanley finished playing, Paco says, Stanley, he says, the way you play, your harmonies are so beautiful. He said, after you play, I do not want to play. I was like, wow. I said, dude, that was Paco de Lucia that just said that to you. You understand? But anyway, so it was a phenomenal time. And they invited us over to Carnegie Hall a few days later. We hung out with them, got to know them a little bit better. And I already knew John fairly well. But any time you get to spend with these guys is treasure because they have so much experience and knowledge that you're just hanging and sharing information and energy. So it was a great experience. I got to know Michael Walden a little bit during that period as well. Great drummer, fantastic drummer, who ironically ended up being managed by my manager, Alan Lee, from New Heights years later. So we ended up reconnecting then. And he is a phenomenal musician. So, yeah, but back to Stanley, man, this guy is just, he's on another level, man. I don't think there's too many people. Because his mathematical background, he expands that into music. Yeah. But it all makes sense. And so he's into some really chords that no one else can really play on a guitar other than if you're playing two-hand tap. Because you can't technically get to the notes that he play. So it's pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, and then he has a specific tuning to his guitar, doesn't he? I think. He
tunes in fourth, straight up. Like a bass, so that all the patterns are the same. It's very symmetrical tuning that allows him to keep all of his patterns the same. And this saved him time from having to learn alternate patterns when you get up to the G string and the B string. Yeah. Because from between the G and the B, you have a major third. Then it goes back to fourth between the B and the E on the regular guitar tuning. But he eliminated that by tuning everything. The B string is tuned to C and the E string is tuned to F. So everything is fourth.
Yeah, so,
all his patterns are symmetrical. Very slick. Because it cuts down your learning time.
Yeah,
about a fourth or a third or some ridiculous stuff.
I saw a video of his explaining that it's an old video from the from the 90s.
He's a thinker, man. Innovative thinking, you know.
So you're working on this new project with Joe. What else do you have coming up?
Well, the big thing is my tribute album to my son. It's called Paris Lights. Before Avery passed away, he said, Dad, I want to sing on your album. So I was sitting in the living room with my friend Pitt Conley from the group Surface, the R&B group. He's a great flute player. And I grabbed my guitar, started playing this kind of instrumental piece from my album. My son disregarded the melodies that I was playing and sang a whole new melody with new words as if he was writing a whole new song, and he did. So Pick had the presence of mind to pull out his iPhone and recorded the whole performance that Avery did in one sweeping moment. And he wrote a whole song. He wrote a bridge, he wrote 2 verses, he wrote a chorus, and he wrote some ad-libs, and even a little introduction. And it was like, wow, that kid could write that in that moment. It's called Parasites, and it's kind of bittersweet because the lyric says parasites don't shine the same since you're going away. So he's kind of predicting that he's going to pass away, because at this point he knows he's going to pass away. It took me 6 years to be able to work on it because I was so saddened by his loss. I couldn't even deal with the song. So finally I got it together. I figured out what the pieces were, where all the pieces lied, and I was able to put it into tempo with a band. And we matched the vocal pieces, took them out of the iPhone, put them into Pro Tools, and we were able to make the record that you're going to hear soon. It's called Parasites. Wow. And it's phenomenal. He was kind of in a Sting mood. He did it in kind of Stingish way, because Avery was a big fan of Sting. He knew almost every lyric Sting ever did, and he was, but he knew that with many artists. He could do that with Maroon 5 or anybody. He was just, that's the kind of kid he was. Chris Brown, you name it. He could tell you their whole repertoire, and his memory was unbelievable, man. It was insane. So yeah, this is gonna be a great tribute album to get out, and there's many other songs on there. We got Mark Hibble from the group Take 6. We got Victor Wooten, the world's most innovative bass player. We got Richard Bona, the other world's most innovative bass player, and the other one, Victor Bailey, is on it too.
Yeah.
So we have Carlos Del Puerto's on there, another innovative bass player. So it's phenomenal that we have these wonderful musicians. And my good friend Tommy Emmanuel did a guest appearance, and it's really beautiful stuff, man. So I'm anxious to get this out. And now we have the Budapest Art Orchestra on one song as well. So
well, that's cool.
So
Amazing.
that's the big thing. I've worked on this record for I would say over 8 years. Yeah.
Yeah. And well, when you finally finished it, we would like to post it on our YouTube channel, you know, just at least a link to it, a reference, so people can go listen to it.
Awesome. Yeah, my son would be laughing at me, saying, "Dad, why do you take so long to get something done?" Oh my God, he would be cracking on me, because he used to laugh that it would take me so long.
Yeah, but something, you know, makes sense. Something so close to your heart. Want to do it the best you can, man. Makes sense. Joshua, I think for today we're done, man. We've
awesome, bro.
I want to thank you so much for doing this.
We only touched the tip of the iceberg. I want you to know that's only the tip of the iceberg.
If we could do another one very soon,
anytime, bro. Let me know.
And we could go and get into specifics, which I know you have a lot of specifics.
Oh yeah, so many other artists we didn't talk about though. You know, so many other artists. But we'll get into it. And in the meantime, thanks for you and your brother's time. That's your brother, right?
Yeah, this is a project done by me and my brothers.
Yeah.
On our YouTube channel.
How many brothers you got?
So we're free, all musicians, all singers, and
awesome. I got to hear you guys do some music, man. I'm looking forward.
Well, we'll hook up, man.
Okay, bro. Hey, thanks for your time and interest, and I appreciate the love. So let's spread the music throughout the universe, bro.
Before you go, could you just do me a great favor and repeat this phrase for us so we can put it on our YouTube? So the phrase is, it's simple. Hey, I'm Joshua Thompson, and you're watching In the Pocket with the Brothers.
Yo, I'm Joshua Thompson, Joshua Paul Thompson, and you're watching In the Pocket with the Kool Brothers.
Yay!
Yeah, man.
That's what's up, man.
Thank you so much, man. It's been amazing.
Be safe out there. All right, talk to you soon.
I'll talk to you. I'll text you soon, man. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks so much.
Keep in touch, man.
Tell your brother goodbye too. All right.
Cheers. Thank you so much.
Peace out. Bye now.
All right, brother.
Have a great
Thank
day.
you, man, so much. Hey guys, if you want to see more content like this, don't.
Hi guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. So, yeah, dude. Hey guys, if you subscribe to this channel, okay.